People have to place me in dramas a lot. I like comedies. I'd love to do a comedy.
You're
I
so
don't do anything.
damn good, Logan. That's why.
I don't
Do
know.
anything. What a
I
jerk.
No! Choking on my love for you.
Thank you.
Spit in his face. Just get it out of the way.
All right.
Joey, Logan, we're here. We're doing it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We were the lucky ones. This is one of those that, look, we were talking before, like sometimes you have to do the press and maybe it's like you're going through the motions because you have to. It's the
Yeah.
job. There's some pride here. This is a special one,
Yes.
clearly.
Yes.
There's pride, there's
We love this.
friendship, there's this press run has been a real joy, honestly.
Yeah, I get to be with you the whole time, which is great. And then talking about a show that we like genuinely like. You know, this is a really cool project. Really proud of it.
So, okay, before we get to the show, which is a special one, I want to talk about your relationship. What's the meet cute story? Embellish if you
cute.
have to.
All of us?
Yeah.
The Q&A.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you just came across some photos from that
I
recently.
know.
Tragic,
I
traumatized.
wish I
So
kind of wish
ugly.
we had it right now.
So
no,
ugly.
I mean, it was amazing.
Both
when
of
I look
us
back.
have looked better. But we met when
like, 10 years ago.
11 years ago
Yeah, 10,
at some
11.
panel Q&A for I think the AFI Fest, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I was already a huge fan of Logan, and so I was so excited to meet him. I was such a big fan of Perks Being Wallflower, Percy, everything. So when people are as nice as they are talented, it's just such a lovely feeling. And we were silently supportive of each other for years, not necessarily super close friends, but then we worked together on Bullet Train, and that kind of kickstarted our friendship. And then this happened by chance as well. It was just amazing to be able to kind of roll on and keep doing stuff together.
Is part of the point of connection, I mean, obviously you've both been acting for a while since you were kids, of understanding that
Oh, yeah.
we kind of went through it, we know what it's like, the good, the bad, the ugly. of
Yeah,
that
we have a
experience.
lot of shared, I mean, just similar experiences. It's very different though.
Yeah.
I mean,
But there's not many people that you can.
Yeah, we related to it, but I think we related to it in our perspective on our experiences too.
Most definitely.
Yeah, Joey's a very resilient.
I think we're both
person.
pretty positive people,
Yeah.
Right.
and we bonded over the
It's
good,
some
the
weird
bad,
stuff.
and the ugly of being
There's
a
some
child
weird
actor.
stuff. It's
Yeah.
a strange thing
What possibly
to
is
do.
weird about what you do?
Oh,
and
we
how
got
growing
so
up in it-
many stories we could tell, but we won't tell.
What is okay? Well, tell me this though. Was there a most awkward age of going through what you guys have gone through? When you look back, of
Oh my god.
Yeah, being
Yeah.
a teenager.
Now?
Yeah, right
very
now.
The amount I
The
get bullied
teenager.
online now. No, there was when you're
Yeah, when you're a teenager, awkwardly trying to understand who you are
Yeah.
while also doing stuff like this, it's such a strange thing. You don't look back. That's the best thing to do. Just don't watch those interviews of those times. Sometimes
Roll
my
the tape.
friends,
No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
roll the tape. Sometimes my friends bring it up. And I'm like, look, what can you say? I'm trying to figure out who I was.
Yeah, absolutely.
In front of
it's
a camera.
in front of a camera trying to
It's a
figure out who
weird
you
thing.
are. I look back at old interviews of mine and I admire my gusto and my, confidence, but I also look back and I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, I'm talking just to talk because you feel like you have to.
Just
They
20%
throw you
less,
out.
maybe. Just
Oh my god. I'm like, you need to turn the volume down.
I know what you mean.
So
I feel
much.
it's such a weird thing to do, but some great experiences from that as well, and really cool opportunities, just being able to make movies
And being
TV
so
shows
painfully aware of your good and bad side. It's
this is what every young
it's
person
all
needs to know.
very helpful.
Yeah, good for the self-esteem.
Yes.
So this is not your first professional collaboration. You were, as you said, you collaborated. You were on Bullet Train together. Great, ginormous, crazy movie with Brad Pitt. Once you spat in Logan's face, did you know this was the beginning of a beautiful professional relationship?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
the
Love in our
greatest joy
eyes.
of my
That was-
career.
I actually,
You
it-
couldn't do it.
I couldn't
Because
do
it was
it.
COVID.
It was COVID, so they wouldn't let me do
We
it.
can't let you do
And
it.
Logan was like, just spit in my face. I don't mind. I
Yeah.
was like, no.
Actually, that's a medical
But
issue.
they made some fake spit that they had me fling on his face
Yeah.
and try to aim it. And it was so funny because he's supposed to be dead in that scene. And it was he's a very talented actor, but you tend to flinch a
Yeah.
little when
No,
flying
yeah.
things come at you. So
not
that was
that
a
good.
oh stop
I'm
it.
not that good.
That was a very funny. But then it's so great. There was just a true I don't know. It feels like we've known each other forever. And maybe we have in some other life, and it's really nice to be so close now.
I mean, the good news is you can spit in his face now. It's like we're good.
I do it every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Every
Metaphorically
time
and
I see him, I'm like,
literally.
"Hey, buddy."
Yeah. You said you can
You
do
said
it.
do it,
so
so.
Right.
now you do.
Segueing, and there's no good segue into this very special project. As I said, we were the lucky ones. This is based-
What a hard right turn.
Hey,
Now.
we got a show to sell.
No, it's
and this is a worthy project to talk about, obviously. You guys are amazing in this. This is based on a best-selling novel, but it's inspired by true life events, of course, about a Jewish family that goes through the Holocaust, separated, tries to come back together. Talk to me about like what resonated with you when you get this material. I mean, there's so many points of connection, I would imagine, but is this an easy thing to say yes to, Logan?
It was easy after reading the book. It's such a well-written story, and it's a true story. Sometimes people write fiction about this piece of history, and that always is a little unsettling for me. Like, the truth matters in these stories, and it was just so beautifully written. It was an easy yes. It was like an obvious choice, but it was also scary because there's so many challenging elements to these characters individually, and it was just a really exciting opportunity to be a part of something like this.
For you, Joey, is it intimidating jumping into something like this that you know is going to be rewarding, I'm sure, but you also know it's going to be taxing, like emotionally. This is not going to be like a day at the beach.
For sure. Like, leading up to leaving for the show and getting ready for it was just a lot of like, I was really scared, honestly, like in a good way. Whenever something scares me as an actor, I'm like, yeah, I should probably follow that feeling, because I've been doing it for a long time, and not that I lose that feeling, but like, not that things become routine, but things just become like, oh, that sounds exciting, that sounds great, but there's very few opportunities now where I'm like, this makes me nervous, and I think that's a really good feeling to have. And this made me nervous. It was a new dialect, which was wonderful, and I love doing dialects. I think it's such a great way to like really immerse yourself in a character, because you just feel very much not like yourself when you're doing a dialect, which is so helpful. But yeah, it was scary, and it was so rewarding, but it was so emotionally taxing. But also, because we were all such a close cast, it was so imperative. I've been saying so much that we brought a little levity to set, and we had some laughs and some fun, which we really did, and it was needed. But we also really lifted each other up when each of us had our separate moments of, really feeling the heaviness of what we were doing, and we would all kind of go through these moments that were random outbursts of like emotion. It's like you bottle it, and then it just kind of comes out. So, but overall, I would do this show again and again and again. It was so rewarding. I had a really wonderful time making
You had a
it.
tough task too. It's some really tough work, and like I was
I mean,
always
all of
checking
us
on
did.
it. Yeah, we did. But there's some specific days that are coming up, scenes that are happening, episodes, and I was always checking
Logan was
in
like,
on
"Can
you.
I make you a smoothie?"
Yeah, yeah. We basically lived together. We had like
Yeah.
apartments next to each other and the same building. So
I'd be like,
I
"Come
was always just
over."
thinking about you and the work that you were doing, and the weight, the responsibility of it, how much you took it so seriously, as you should, as we do on this project in particular. And I always thought about the work that you were doing.
I mean, one thing I also just love and admire about the way you guys have crafted your careers, even look, there's a long way to go, but like transitioning from the younger roles, the roles that cater to a younger audience,
Yeah.
and like like you're gonna bring along young people that have watched your work in different contexts
really hope
to
so.
something like this.
I really hope so. Yeah.
I mean, that's a meaningful thing that you kind of can't even quantify, I would hope.
Yeah. No, I can't.
I mean, it's
At all.
so meaningful because, people have been telling us like, oh, this will be great to like teach the younger audience. And while that's true, I don't like using those verbiages because it sounds
It's like medicine. It's not.
it sounds exactly like oh, here,
That's
kids.
not the
like,
intention of
no,
making it. Yeah.
No, the intention is, to teach about what happened, and yes, to show, to build compassion in people, but also, these hard subjects they're hard to digest, but when it's in the form of a television show and it's with characters that are based on real people who have compelling stories, who you fall in love with, you are following along with, joy is not the right word, but you want to keep watching what's happening.
It's compelling
it's
for a lot
compelling.
of reasons.
And it's a joyful show
yeah,
sometimes.
it is.
And tragic.
It's all. I think the main element for me as a reader, as somebody who's like choosing a project and when I'm doing that, I'm also imagining myself as an audience member. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is surprising. This is something I haven't seen before. I've never. There's characters, people. These are real people's lives, but we treat them as characters. But their stories are things I haven't seen explored before.
Yeah.
And if I was an audience member watching this for the first time, I'd be surprised by the stories told, and that was the most compelling element as well.
Absolutely.
Something I haven't seen before, I think, on screen. Is this Logan Lerman's singing debut
Yes.
on screen?
Yes, it is. I hope it's all right.
You did great.
You
did-
saw it?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
all right. I haven't seen it yet, so
Hey,
I'm curious.
honey.
I've only seen the first episode. I'm watching with the audience, so I hope it's.
Yeah, I know. He wanted to wait till it came out, and I
Yeah.
was like calling him, being like, "Did you watch it yet?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "You're so good."
Yeah, it's-
Were you nervous about the singing aspect? Is that
Yeah, I was nervous about it. I'm not a singer. I'm not like a naturally talented singer or something like that. I love music. I love to play music. So that was an exciting element of this character. Adi was a composer in real life, and he has amazing pieces of music that are in the show, and it's a great way to honor him. But I wanted to learn them, and I wanted to learn how to play the pieces. And there's a specific scene where I do have to sing, and singing with a Polish dialect on top of it is a whole other challenge.
Yeah.
And I hope it turned out all right. I'm excited to see people's reactions to it, or if I had any friends or family members or people online, I'm like, feel free to let me know if I sucked.
the
I
buzz
told
out
you you
there?
were great.
Mamma
Yeah.
Mia 3 is one more step away.
Really? Mamma
getting-
Mia 3?
Yeah, there's an
Oh,
offer
that'd
on the
be fun.
table. I'm the first
I'd
one to
love
tell
to do
you.
a musical. That'd be so fun. I just never thought of myself as being a singer.
Do songs change for you based on your on the filming of a scene or a film? Because it's funny, this is connected to you, Logan. I remember being on set of Perks of Being a Wallflower, and it was the scene where "Come On, Eileen"
Oh, yeah.
was played, and I heard it about 100 times in a row.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did, and I cannot hear that song to this day without thinking of Perks.
I think of it too, yeah. I mean, it's hard not to, especially because like whenever it comes on, I feel like if I'm with people, they all like turn to me. They're like, "This is your song."
It's also
your
funny
song
because
now.
like if the song's really good too, but then it's like
That's an
played
honor,
so
though.
many times, you're like, you have to take a break from it for a while, I'm sure.
Right.
It's so cool though. It's like it shows you how effective the thing you're making, was or is, that people now associate you with that song. It's like
That is cool.
That is really cool.
It just came up recently. Actually, I was talking to Paul Rudd, and I was
Cash.
I saw this.
Casual.
Oh, you saw the
I
clip?
saw it. I saw it. Yeah.
Wait, I didn't.
Okay,
I
so
saw it. I watched it.
Just let him tell me.
Okay, tell.
I was saying to him, and I'm sure you experienced this, that there's a great love for that film. It's something you were saying yourself. What a fan
I
you are.
love that movie.
An amazing movie, and it still resonates with, like, I don't know if I can say the next generation, but younger audiences today.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him that quote, I feel like, is a very resonant quote to people. We accept the love we think we deserve. He has not heard it out in the wild.
Yeah, he's
Paul.
like, no one says that to me. He's like, what did he say? He says, everybody says slap the bass, man, or something like that, but nobody says. I was
Oh my God, that's so
surprised because
funny.
I get it a lot, and it's really cool to see a film that has like life after it comes out. That like years later, like certain projects you work on, people still talk about, or they mean something to people. It's like that's really special.
That quote is tremendous.
I'm sure there are like tattoos of that. You
Oh,
see
for
it.
sure.
I met a
sure
lot of
there
people.
is.
It really affected people, changed people's lives. It's really cool to work on a project like that.
In terms of music for you, Joey, do you create playlists for characters? Is that ever useful? Have you ever found that to be something that's helped you?
Yeah, I don't necessarily. Actually, that's not true. I do create playlists sometimes, but other times I just kind of have like, I'm like a little bit. I forget the options there to create a playlist. So I'll just like type in the songs I want to listen to and just like add to queue. Or like my husband will be like, why don't you just make a playlist? I'm like, because that would be too easy. But music plays such a big role in getting into character for me. There'd be, and when you put yourself in these people's shoes when you're about to do a scene on a show like this, it is enough most of the time to really get you in that headspace that you need to be in. But music transforms the chemistry of your brain, and so when you need that extra push, or you just need something to kind of bring down the energy of, the lights, the noise around you. There's people putting tape on the ground in
Yep.
front of you. There are people touching your hair and makeup and your face. Like, just to pop in your headphones and just kind of play something that will just bring you where you need to be in the scene and in the moment. Music is everything.
Like places you in a feeling. Yeah.
Exactly.
As good as a great set or a great costume, anything that can kind of give you a shortcut to that emotion.
Absolutely. There's
Right.
like a song that I love so much that I would listen to a lot on this show, and I played it for Lior. I gave him a headphone before we both had this kind of intense scene. I was like, "Do you want to know what I'm listening to?" He was like, "Sure." And I gave him his headphone. And he was crying when we were listening to this song
Which
together.
song was it?
It's called "4th of July" by Sufjan Stevens.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Of
like
course.
one of my favorite songs in the whole world. It is my favorite song, I think. And that was one of many really beautiful songs that helped me just feel the weight of what we were doing.
Do you guys have similar musical tastes generally?
Oh, yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
turned each other onto any music in your lives, or?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we went on
Yeah.
a trip together over New Year's, and we
Oh,
like.
songs though.
Well, I know, but you had your
Yeah.
playlist going in the car.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
always
"What is
playing
this?
music.
What is this?
Yeah, it's
What's
true.
that? That's great." So I like wrote down a lot of his.
But we do both love Sufjan Stevens, I gotta say. Like, that is.
He's my
like,
favorite.
one of the
He's
greatest
always my
artists
number one
ever.
artist on Spotify Wrapped.
of the
And
best
I'm always
live
in the top
performances,
1%
too.
of his listeners, so I'm a big fan.
Yeah, incredible live performer. Like,
I've never
beyond.
seen him live. It's my
It-
dream.
Yeah, it's like similar to like David Byrne or something, where it's
wow.
like beyond.
Performance, that's
yeah, it's beyond just a band playing on stage, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole coordinated show to it. Like it's a whole other
Gosh,
layer.
you're making me jealous.
Oh well,
Well, speaking of, you can make us jealous by your association with Taylor Swift, who you've been part of 2 different music videos over the years.
Yes, I have.
Do you have the inside track on the new album? Do you get special privileges?
No, I don't. I don't even get special privileges with Sabrina's album. That's not true. Sometimes she'll be like, "What do you think?" But I loved being part of that so much. I mean, it was so special to, she's a really it was really amazing because like, I feel like for her, she's probably afraid of leaks so much in her music, or not even afraid is the right word, but just protective of her of her craft and her work. And so when we were filming the music video for "I Can See You," you'd think like it would be playing on set, but like it wasn't.
Right.
So we would all have earpieces in with the song because no one in the crew was allowed to like hear
that's
it,
crazy.
just in case.
Well, you don't want to be
Wow.
the one to bring her down. If she sends you the early tracks,
Well,
like,
yeah, but
it
it's
was
more
Joey.
like
You don't wanna be
she didn't.
responsible for that.
She
That's
was like
hard.
so great about keeping it tight. So like we wore earpieces, and each take they would play that part of the song that we were about to do, but no one on the crew no one knew what the song sounded like because it's just in a reprise. It was really amazing. It was like it was eye opening and
Yeah.
it was
It's like being on a Marvel movie, like the secrecy.
it was like
yeah.
being on a Marvel movie, and I wouldn't know, but I would
Well,
imagine. Like I know some
Sounds
people
like
are
it.
like, "We get our pages the same day," and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
So you mentioned Sabrina. I feel like the internet's trying to will into universe some collaborations. You and Dylan O'Brien. How about a quartet? A film, you, Sabrina, you, Dylan. Knock all the internet's obsessions out of the
That
way.
sounds great. Look, the idea of just working with your friends is the best
Kill
thing
4
ever.
birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just trying to be efficient here, guys.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Very
Why not?
efficient.
What kind of film do we want to see? Or do we?
What do you want to see? I don't
Yeah, what do you
know.
wanna see from
I don't know
us?
what I want to see. I always just I read it and I like it or I don't, but I have
It's so
no
true.
vision.
Everyone's always like, "What do you want to do next?" I'm like, "I don't know."
I have no idea.
What genre
Work
have we
with
not
good
done yet?
writers.
I've already tried to get you into a musical.
Yeah.
Have you ever done horror?
No, I would
No?
love to do a horror film.
done a lot of
I
horror.
love horror movies.
Horror fans are amazing.
Yeah, people have to place me in dramas a lot. I like comedies. I'd love to do a comedy.
You're
I
so
don't do any of
damn
them.
good, Logan. That's why.
I don't
Do
know,
anything. What a
I
jerk.
No, I'm choking on my love for you.
Thank you.
Spit in his face. Just get it out of the way.
If you went
we
for it, I'd
go.
accept it.
I know you would. I know you would.
I want to thank you again. You were very kind. I did an event with the new Percy Jackson cast.
Yes, that's right. That was
And
so cool.
It was very cool.
Traitor.
I have one for all the casts. And Logan was very sweet in sending a message that I passed on to Walker, the new Percy, who I'm sure I sent you that video. You saw the
Yeah.
video. His
I talked to
reaction
him
was
online
so.
a little bit too, like through Instagram. We've like DM'd, and he's just such a sweet guy.
So you haven't met in person yet.
Haven't met him in person. I would love to meet him in person, but like, yeah, I look at him and those actors at that age and like what they're going through and being a part of a show like that, and it's it's fascinating to watch. But it seems like they're handling it really well because it's beyond just making it, beyond just like being a part of the thing. There's just there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of focus on you. There's like a weird thing. So they seem to be handling that side of it really well.
So coming full circle, this wonderful show, We Were the Lucky Ones. So you've only seen the first episode. Are you better at watching yourself and others? I mean, it's too
Yeah.
good to pass up. You have to watch it.
I'm like,
guys.
I understand the different, everyone has their different comfortabilities when watching themselves. I'm pretty, like, sometimes I'll watch and, like, over criticize myself, but, like, I'm pretty good at removing myself.
Yeah.
And just understanding that, like, nothing I can change now, so.
Yeah.
As the actor, so and also there's so many the actors in this show are so fabulous. Our castmates are incredible, and there's so much time we get to spend with them. So I really got lost in everyone else's story too.
And it's maybe weird to say about a show that can be dark and emotional at times, but it's just gorgeously made. I mean, this is like a really top-notch production in every
I
respect.
agree.
It really, no,
I
but
have to say,
We're all on the same page here,
I was
right?
blown away by the by all the different departments. I mean, from like the wardrobe, Lisa Duncan just did an incredible job.
gosh.
Production design, like cinematography, everything blue.
hair and makeup. Everyone
makeup.
was just like everything was so
Top.
thought out.
Yeah.
Like everybody was working at the top of their top of their game, top of their craft.
Yeah.
Like they're just so. It's makes it easier for me to watch. I'm like, I want to see everybody else's work.
Yeah.
What-
It's really cool.
It's weird also to say, like, this was one of the most, even though it is a dark show at times, one of the most joyous experiences I've had while filming something.
Yeah.
Because I really loved the people, not just the cast, but also the crew, and it was just really special.
Well, I think what you said earlier is an important note to end on, which is that yes, it's harrowing and it is intense, but there is hope in this too. And it's it really at the end of the day, it's a story about family and connection, and
Yeah.
that's something that anybody can relate to.
Yeah, I mean, when I watched it, you think it's. You go into a show with this subject matter and you have assumptions, and I'm sure people will, and I was really blown away by how much of a, like, if it were a book, it'd be a page turner. I'm like so interested in what's going to happen next, and I'm really excited for people to experience
I
that.
think it's going to surprise a lot of people too. There's going to be a lot of things.
What
that
do
they
you know?
didn't-
You've only seen
I was
episode
gonna
1.
say,
I read the scripts. We made the episodes. I know where it goes.
Did
and
you?
I think. I
I read
just
them
showed up.
to
I was
you.
like, hey.
let's end
I'm
on a very
here.
angry at Logan note.
Yeah, what if
Everybody's
both of you
so-
just rip me apart? Yeah. I'm like, why?
I know, you're so sweet. Every time I make fun,
take
I
it.
do feel bad because
No.
I'm like, I'm kidding, right?
Yeah, we
No,
feel
I'll
horribly
take-
now.
yes,
Good,
I'll
thanks
take
for
it.
making us feel horrible about ourselves for making fun of you.
Yeah, what happened?
Thank you.
You're you again.
All right, watch the show. I guess I'll leave now.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank
Thank you so
God.
much. It's always
Thank
good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
So fun.